We're back, people, and today we're bringing a film on Tua Tagovailoa versus the Patriots, and I actually thought he played pretty great in this game despite that early interception. The interception was bad for sure, but the whole offense was just functioning through Tua. I think he played pretty flawless after that. Maybe, a couple things he could have done slightly better, but his accuracy, anticipation were, popping off the film in this game. He was making some ballsy throws, and it was pretty fun to watch. Like, I think this was his best. I know he's undefeated versus Belichick and the Patriots and all that, and that's what people talk about. He's 6-0. I do think this was his best game versus the Patriots. He usually plays pretty average to decent versus New England in those games that they win, but he was the main function for how they were moving the ball down the field. He was making plays. They had 4 backup offensive linemen in the game, and they had a couple big drops too. His stats could have been even crazier, and it was very fun to watch. On this play, the first play, it's a 4th and 1 situation, and he's throwing, they're running seam rail slide RPO, which they run this play a lot, more than anybody in the league. This is their go-to. Last year, they ran it even more. This year, I think they ran this play more versus the Patriots than they have in all the other games combined, because they run this play a lot versus Patriots. Motion hill across. Tua makes a gutsy throw. 4th and 1 to throw the back shoulder on the seam to Waddle. He reads the leverage, throws it back shoulder. It's cover 1. If he waits maybe another split second, he can throw the flat here. But he's about to get hit. He thinks maybe they'll deflect it, so he just throws it. That's a ballsy throw, and it's great ball placement to hit Waddle on that back shoulder. Good adjustment by Jalen as well. Jalen Waddle had a pretty good game, even though he had a couple negative plays as well. He still put up some crazy numbers, and even with how this offense functions and they move down the field, always with that high yards per average in that passing game, those negative plays are going to come, but they just have so many big positive ones that it makes up for it. Here was Claypool's first target. Patriots rotate into a cover 2 man on a 3rd and 11, and Tua tries to throw it, and he just gets out leveraged to the inside. They've done this a few times. Look how hard he sits on inside leverage. They've done this before, and they still completed these passes. But I think Tua's just reading the safety. He sees number 5 open his hips this way, so he sees that he's going to play as a deep half. So he's just okay, I'm going to take that inside, breaker right there, glance route. But Claypool has no chance. I know some people would probably blame this on Claypool. Tua probably shouldn't have thrown this. It's just a tough ask. But nothing else is really open as well. There's no one really to throw it to. I understand why he's trying to, hit it at the sticks. He was just reading the safety, and it just gets taken away from the natural inside leverage. But they do adjust later on to the 3rd and 15 interception. Tua had the bit of a slow start and then really turned it up. This is just a bad read. What I think, the Patriots going into that 3 safety look, which basically turns into, this guy playing as a deep middle, these guys double robbing. And I guess what he was expecting, he either didn't see Duggar at all, which I think is the case. I think he's just seeing the safety drop deep middle, and then I guess maybe the tight end, or right here, whoever's running this route, is blocking his view of Duggar or something, and he wants to throw the deep in breaker. Or he does see Duggar, and he's expecting the tight end to carry him out of it, and he just throws it right to him. Just bad mistake, bad read, bad decision making, whether he just never saw him or just was throwing with a lot of anticipation, guessing what was going to happen in that route concept. This one's definitely all on Tua. Some of the other interceptions of his season haven't been on him. I also think he's been pretty unlucky with his interception rate, because his interceptable pass rate is the same as how many interceptions he's thrown in that rate, the same percentage wise, or it's off by 0.1, which means basically every interceptable pass that he has thrown has been caught, and every other QB has had multiple drops. It's pretty unfortunate, but that's just not a good play at all from Tua. But he was pretty exceptional after this play. He's at least going to make up for it right away. They kind of dink and dunked, ran the ball their way down the field, nothing too crazy. They get to the 40, and what do? They go for the deep bomb to Tyreek like they do every single game. This one a little bit different, not facing some press look. We'll look at this a little more slowly, but look, they get the quarters look again. They keep trying to bracket Tyreek. You can't bracket Tyreek. You have to play cloud, which means this guy should be playing deep half, and this guy should be squatting, playing in the half. It makes it a lot harder for Tyreek to get open, but they keep, teams expecting in breakers, so they decide to bracket Tyreek, thinking all Tua can throw it are these in breakers on the dig. So that's what this safety does, but he doesn't get enough depth. And Tyreek right here running full spin, amazing play. You can see how comfortable Tua. Tua hasn't missed this throw in the past 10 times he's thrown this to Tyreek. It works every single time. Plus Tyreek's not getting the double to this side either, and it's another throw to the left, which is interesting because the last 2 have come to his left when all the first 3 or 4 or 5 were all to the right of him, and he just drops an absolute dime. Love that he puts it on that outside shoulder just in case this safety would have, gained more depth, and it just great tracking and finish from Tyreek Hill. 4th and 4 situation. Dolphins went for it a lot on 4th down and were pretty successful. Patriots running like a cover 1 robber. Love this. Tua running for it on a 1st down. You don't see this very often. He starts over here to this side of the field. They're running like, an out with a slot fade right there. Don't love the spacing here. Something's got to be off for sure because they run the curl, the stick type thing. They're going to work into each other, which is not great. And then coming off this, no one's open. Like, this is man-to-man, cover 1. No one's really running like a man-beater type of route either. They're all just kind of getting out-leveraged naturally. Tua sees the space open up. This is what you got to be able to do versus man coverage. There will be space to work through if you get past the initial D lineman, and that's a great run for Tua. Love the confidence too, pointing with the hands there. Big time play. This isn't his game, but if he can do it just a little bit, just enough like this in this situation, that's all you can ask from him when he has the other, elite accuracy anticipation traits. Like this play from Tua on the, play action boot. He did a good job in this game. They take away his first option to Smythe, and then him and Tyreek Hill just being on the same page, and Tyreek's just such a weapon. Tyreek Waddle both put up over 100 yards when the Patriots haven't allowed that all season long. This stuff is special from the Dolphins offense with what they're able to do. And then this is a throw across your body, never easy. His first read's not there. He's getting to Tyreek Hill. Sees that if Tyreek keeps floating into this, it would be taken away as well. But he stops. Him and Tua on the same page. Throw it back, hit him perfectly right, in the hands. Great throw. Great being on the same page as well there from Tyreek Hill. And I guess the Dolphins just were like kind of refusing to run the ball on the 1 yard line. They did get one later, but like there was a drive where they just kept throwing it with inside the 5. But here they go empty. Like this look, they motion out. He clearly sees man-to-man, so Tua, all he has to do is peek at this guy right here. The guy who's in the middle of the field, he thinks he's going to have either, a cover 1, cover 0 look on the 1. He sees this guy come on the blitz, so he knows, boom, I have 2 options here. Probably go to number 2, where your first look is, to this side, Cedric Wilson on the slant. Basically, your 2 inside guys are your options, and they both win on the rep. Waddle was wide open, but his first read, Cedric, he likes what he sees, puts an absolute dot right there. That's a beautiful throw. Cedric makes a tough catch in a contested situation. That's pretty good coverage, and it's just out of the outstretched hands of the corner right there. Amazing placement to finish for that touchdown. Never had an offense before where it's like 2nd and 14, 2nd and 15, even 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, and have pretty good confidence that they can convert. Like, they convert these long plays all the time. It's just another classic hitting Waddle on these, he even falls off balance too. Like, he gets rerouted right there on this deep inbreaker, but he sees the leverage of this. They're running cover 3. This guy's playing deep. He likes the underneath defenders are not getting a ton of depth, so he throws with an anticipation. Waddle falling off balance makes a great acrobatic catch as well in the hands. Just really good ball placement, accuracy, and even with Waddle falling off balance, he makes an exceptional play. This offense is so fun to watch. When you're constantly making these throws down the field, this is why I'm okay with the interception. If his interception came and this offense was like, hey, dink and dunk, throw a 2-yard pass, throw a 3-yard pass, throw a 5-yard pass, and then you have that interception, that's a lot bigger of a problem. But when you're making these risky big plays, and those are usually just insanely efficient, then I can live with you having that negative play as long as it doesn't kill you in the long run. Another example of hitting Tyreek Hill down the hill, but they do this so well, better than anyone. The behind the back play action out of the shotgun creates this, natural pocket, like it's going to be play action. It, gets everything in rhythm, and then this guy's sucked down. He sees all that space pre-snap. That guy's not able to get there, and then him and Tyreek being on the same page again, not just floating this into this coverage, have him slow down, catch the ball, and look at the effect Tyreek Hill has. Literally, he comes to a stop, and everyone just stops. They're so scared to move. If they make one wrong step, Tyreek Hill could be gone, and then he just gets a field, picks up an extra few yards. But it's just pretty funny to watch the defenders there. The Patriots definitely saw this play coming. They go cover 1, right? This safety sees it. You could see Tua communicating to Waddle, like, hey, you have the one-on-one press look. I'm going deep to you. Like, they're definitely communicating, like, hey, go deep. This safety starts to cheat over, like, to get over there. And Tua sees him cheating. So instead of trying to throw over the top, where if he did throw it over the top, the safety has a chance to make a play, he throws back shoulder, which is a good decision. I like this throw, 2nd and 9. And Waddle, I know people will call this a drop, which I think he did drop it technically. I mean, the defender was there to make a play. It's a tough catch. I don't know if it will be classified as a drop technically wise, because the defender, I think, hit the ball. But I think Waddle was definitely bobbling it before it was even touched by the defender, which is unfortunate, but he does respond right after this. literally the next play, Waddle probably runs my favorite route he's ran all season. This is one of my favorite routes any receivers ran for the Dolphins all season. Sometimes like the receivers don't get to show like their big route running chops because everything is so timing based. You just got to get in and out of your breaks, quick release. You're not really allowed to do a ton of different stuff. And they don't allow him to run routes like this where it's like high change of direction. You just see Tyreek run great vertical routes, but it's never like the most crazy types of things. They rotate into cover 3 right here. And everyone's expecting, the in breaker. They have help to the inside. This safety's tricksing across here. Waddle, he goes to the first side. He sees 23 come across. This is a good read by Tua. Sees 23, doesn't want to throw this. That would get picked. Comes off of it. Off script too. And look how Waddle just break this guy's ankle. That's a great response. It's such a good route by him. And Tua being on the same page, making a playoff script, throwing this, off platform as well. Tua is right like that. And that's just beautiful all across the board. Then when you get to see Claypool's first catch, look, this guy's playing hard inside leverage again, but they're playing quarters this time instead of man-to-man, and then things get, the DBs end up hesitating due to the route concept and them just not being in man-to-man this time. Tua looks off this DB. You can see, like, if you go back and watch the corner, he hesitates, and it's basically just due to Tua's eyes and manipulation. You get to see Claypool make a nice little play, make a guy miss. Cool to see him involved in the offense. I feel like he could be that, like, number 3 outside guy. Like Barrios will be the number 3 in the slot, but when like they want to have another guy playing on the outside or have like Waddle or Tyreek in the slot, you can see Claypool out there. Cedric's been making more and more plays, and then we should have Craycraft back soon as well. So the receiver room should be pretty solid going on for the rest of the season. And then here's Smythe taking away to his 4th touchdown. This should have been a 4th touchdown. It's another seam real slide RPO. And this is an RPO for the Dolphins, but it's really not, because every time they have the option to pass, I'm pretty sure Tua throws it 99% of the time. Like, if that option is there, they're clearly running their routes, and he's just reading this. They motion him across, and this DB just stays on Tyreek. They had trouble communicating this, as you'll see on the final play I break down here, and Tua makes the correct read. Smythe's got to get in there. I don't know why he doesn't, but, I mean, they score the next play, so it doesn't matter, but that was, should have been Tua's 4th touchdown. This play could have been bad for the Dolphins. It's 3rd and 6. Patriots end up bringing some pressure here, and playing on how they play this on the back end. And Tua makes the correct read. Like, he sees the pressure. He knows he's hot. So he's ready to throw this slant right here to Waddle. But this guy's in his face above. So he has to avoid it. And I think he does a good job avoiding. But 48 makes a hell of a play. You got to give him some credit here. He gets hit in the head, too. He just never sees 48. And it ends up, making a play off the hands there. Technically probably not an interceptable pass either. Like, it hits off the one hand. Very tough. I mean, it's just an insane play by the Patriots. Tua made the correct read, knew where to go with the ball. It's just this guy was right in his face as Waddle was breaking. He's trying to throw it, and he's just not there. Gets hit in the head, too, and then it ends up, not working out exactly. But that was probably one of his negative plays, but I don't blame him as much for that one because things were, very difficult for what he had to work with. This is the drive where they're up a touchdown. They have to respond. The Patriots had just scored. Got to make a big-time play. Now, Patriots go cover 2 man, and Tua misses Waddle a little bit here, throwing on the back shoulder, but Waddle's got to make this catch. Like, not every throw is going to be perfect. Plus, I understand. I think Tua might have thrown it here on purpose, like a little bit on, because this guy's playing deep and has some inside leverage. He probably could have hit him in stride and been fine, but I do feel like it wasn't Tua missing, per se. I just think he wanted to throw it there. He wanted Waddle to slow down, if I had to guess, just based on the leverage of the coverage. And, I mean, Waddle's just got to make this catch. I think he still should have thrown it out a little more in front of him. But that's tough. But they do respond well the very, very next play. This was the play Orlovsky was breaking down on Twitter. Tyreek Hill, the number 3. They're bringing 5 up front. There's a guy unblocked. He's hot. So they're basically playing a version of, cover 3 with the blitz. 21 drops back out. He knows this guy's coming in unblocked, so Tua has to step back. He's ready to release it. Tyreek has not broken yet, and he's throwing it in between these 2 defenders. Everyone's looking at him, and that's just anticipation and putting this ball perfectly to, like, away from the defender that's going to hit him, but also doesn't allow Tyreek Hill to get destroyed either. It's like the perfect placement for this ball here with the anticipation that's being thrown, because this guy is definitely farther away and has no chance to get there to Tyreek. And this just gives Tyreek, I think, the highest percentage chance to make a play on that ball. Amazing work from Tua. Just the high-level anticipation, accuracy that he's playing with this game is truly special. Last play that we're going to break down is Durham Smythe play. They had it here again. They motioned Tyreek all the way across. And last time, the corner didn't switch off and stayed on Tyreek. This time this corner switches off, and it was 13. So 13 was the corner on the outside last time. This time he's the one following, and he doesn't switch off this time. And then this time he chases. So clearly he was like, oh, I thought we were, staying, or we were chasing now. But no, we're staying. So he just does the opposite thing both times, and then Waddle becomes uncovered. That's the problem that this type of concept can cause. And it's a 3rd and 1, so they're playing pretty run heavy down in the box. No safety help deep, as they call it. That's just great play design. The seam real slide RPO, they do it better than anyone. And as you can tell, this is a fake handoff to Ingold on 3rd and 1. These RPOs are not really RPOs. They're just pass options. They're just POs, man, because Tua's throwing them. I'm telling you, they're not trying to actually run on these plays. They're just trying to sell the run. Like, they're still run blocking up here, but you get Waddle. Good job from Tua as well, looking off the defense with his eyes to Tyreek, because he was never going to throw it with 2 guys on him, and they get the free touchdown. So if you guys know the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.